If you look it up in the dictionary, a token is kind of a tangible representation of a fact, quality, feeling, or a voucher. So it really is just something that can represent something else. It's kind of a container. So there are physical tokens, like when you go to an arcade when you're a kid and you trade money for a token, and that gives you access to play video games. So now we also have digital tokens. And there are two main types of tokens. There are fungible, which just means you can swap it out. So kind of like the US dollar or the euro, one is equal to one. Or you have non-fungible. So you may have heard this lately, NFTs coming in kind of the mainstream news. So non-fungible just means that they don't necessarily have a one-to-one, you can't swap them. So say my Babe Ruth baseball card, I want to trade for your Michael Jordan baseball card. So it's not really a one-to-one, they kind of hold a different representation. And in this context with DAOs, the very cool thing about digital tokens is we can program them with rights and access. So again, going to that kind of arcade example. So this token that you trade money for, it gives you access to play video games. And now we can program digital tokens for pretty much anything. They're just a container. So we can program them for governance rights. We can program them for reputation. We can assign it a value, or we can open it to the markets and allow the markets to dictate the value. And also they can be transferable or non-transferable. So like at the arcade, you can't exchange that token and get your money back. That kind of vests you in the arcade economy, if you will. And at the Common Stack, we have a non-transferable reputation token that we're using called C-Stack that we use to assign a score. And that score represents how much a person is aligned with our mission. And our mission, you know, being that somebody cares about the collective over just individual benefits. And because that's transparent, it becomes this kind of signaling measure as well. So especially with non-fungible tokens, those NFTs that I was talking about that you may have heard of that are basically digital collectibles, this can be like a badge. So I could have an Ins for All community member NFT, and that has a reputation or a kind of connotation that translates even beyond language. If someone just sees a symbol, it kind of has this larger meaning. So that's just the kind of tip of the iceberg here. I don't want to go too far down the rabbit hole, but tokens offer us this way to quantify or to represent things that are very hard to measure. So even like a wedding ring, you know, this is kind of an expression or a representation of love that can't be measured. But in the case of DAOs, this is allowing for some incredible opportunity to get very intentional and very granular in the way that we assign and apply access control and rights at different layers within our communities, our economies, and our commons.